Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Strata Live here in Hollywood at the Strata headquarters where we work every day. For nearly 10 years, creative professionals have been convinced that in order to make post-production a collaborative experience, we have to upload our media into a cloud. And you know what the problem with that is? We accepted it. We accept the waiting. We tolerate the duplicate assets. We pay the storage fees. We deal with the transfer delays. Companies like Dropbox, Google Drive, Frame.io, LucidLink, Suite Studio, Shade, WeTransfer, Signiant, Massive, you know them all. They believe the only way to build remote collaboration is to do it in a cloud. So they convinced us that working remotely means we have to pay extra to give them our files, which means we surrender speed, we surrender ownership, and we ultimately surrender quality. That means the biggest problem is we're surrendering control. But what if they're wrong? What if the problem was never with the internet? What if we already own everything that we need in order to collaborate remotely? Clouds rely on three main components to function: network, compute, and storage. But think about it. When you use a cloud, you still need those same components on your desk. So what if your network is good enough? What if your computer is powerful enough? What if your drives are fast enough? We're not missing performance. We're missing protocol. That's where Strata comes in. Strata transforms any local storage volume into a secure, globally accessible media platform without uploading anything into a cloud. That means no guessing how much storage you need, no duplicate media, and no renting back your data every single month. The future of collaboration doesn't have to mean endlessly renting more cloud resources. The future is to utilize your existing ones. We're not just trying to change the tech landscape. We're trying to fundamentally change the way everyone can work. And yes, we know that that's crazy, but I once heard that it's the crazy ones that make change happen. So don't think of Strata as a tool that you use in remote workflow. Think of Strata as a tool that makes remote workflow possible. And today, we think we're gonna change the collaboration conversation. I am thrilled to introduce the best technology we've ever built, Strata version 2. And I'm gonna demonstrate it live for you right now. Now, we want to make Strata the easiest product to use with a learning curve measured in minutes. And easy isn't just good for you, it helps your clients. We also want to make it fast with powerful shortcuts that editors are already familiar with. And we want to make it so that every single Strata feature is accessible from one place. And if we got this right, you already know how to use it. So how could you already know how to use Strata if you've never seen it before? Well, look at my screen right here. This is a Finder window, or in Windows, it's a File Explorer. But if I click and hide it, this is Strata version 2, just like a Finder or a File Explorer. See, when we're dealing with clouds, we were always working with websites and we were making these proxy versions of assets in these folders that didn't really exist on your local drives. They were copies or aliases of sorts. But when you deal with the creative tools, your editing, your photos, your sound, you're dealing with the Finder. That's the access point. And that's what we're doing. Look, I can see my desktop, my applications, my documents, my downloads. I have access to everything that I would in an actual Finder. Now, what about if I have to connect an external drive? Well, here's an OWC Express drive, a couple of terabytes on here. And if I plug that in right here, that will of course mount on my desktop like normal, but it also mounts in Strata. So I can see right here my drive and I can browse this drive. I can look at my dailies, but like a Finder, I could see it in list view or thumbnail view. I could go to list view. I could go to column view and see these files just the way that I'm liking to see them. I can click on these. If I wanted to open them, I could just hit Command Open. And now I'm looking at them in QuickTime in my default player, whatever that player may be. But wouldn't it be great if I could look at them in Strata? Well, if I click that, we've got a built-in player. So now I'm playing the files in a window that can change shape and size any way I want, and I can go to the next take, next take, next take. In fact, for editors, you're gonna love this. I can go frame by frame back and forth. You can see the slate, and if I hold the Shift key, I can go 10 frames forward, 10 frames back, and if I hold Command Shift, I can go 10 seconds forward, 10 seconds back. So I have the ability to skip to the very end, go to any asset, switch the view mode, and just click around and make these big or small. It's great for photos, it's great for audio, it's great for everything. So this is our simplified player. But there's something in this player experience that doesn't exist in a Finder. And that's this blue button right here. Here I have the option to invite. See, with Strata, we don't have to be married to the media here and upload it to a cloud. I can invite someone directly to this drive right on my desk. I hit the blue invite button, and I can see right here, my brother and I are already connected. If I want to invite Austin at strata.tech, I can choose to set his permissions. Now, this is already different from a VPN experience. Someone might say, I think you can do this with VPN. But the problem with VPN, aside from it being really complicated, is it's not going to be available on every single drive, and you're not going to have the ability to gate permissions per folder. See, with Strata, I can navigate to a specific folder. Here I'm in dailies, and I can set the permissions of viewer, downloader, editor, or admin. I can do that per user, per folder. So if I have 50 folders on this drive, I can give 50 different levels of permissions control, which you can't do on a VPN. The other thing that's better is that we're able to make this superior to a screen sharing application. Because with screen sharing, you can't have two people use the same machine. But when I invite Austin and Peter to this drive, we can all use it at the same time. Now, I've also got the ability to access files that are not local to me because I've been invited to other computers across the globe. So I can go to Colorado here and look at a drive called Strada. This is actually at my mother's house in Denver. And if I go to one of the folders here, this is the Fujifilm Eterna 55 camera, and I've got some dailies in here. I can open up one of these files and I can see inside these assets the files that are here. So the beauty is I have the ability to be invited into remote collaboration experiences. So when I invite someone to this drive, it's the same as me being invited to somebody else's drive, and then I can access the media, play it back, watch it, and experience it as if it's local. But not always are you gonna be able to watch a file remotely like I'm doing here. You might need to actually transfer a file. Well, let's take a look at this. I'm gonna set this in the corner, and one of the great things about having a Finder window is you can make multiple ones. So I'm gonna create a second one right here, and I'm gonna set that to Colorado as my destination. And so I'm gonna set this to my hard drive, Strata, and then look at our Fujifilm Eterna files, and we notice that we've got 2 magazines right here. But if I go to the Express drive that's on my desk, I can see I've got the same directory, but I have more mags here. I've got mag 3. I can open up a new window, and when I open up that new window, I'm able to go to the Mac Studio, and that has a copy of the files right here, and I can see the mags, and I'm gonna open up a 4th one. And what I'm doing here is I'm setting up 4 different examples of being able to transfer files from 4 different places, just as an example to kind of demonstrate the process here and what Strata is capable of. Now, if I were to ask you, what is the easiest way you could possibly think of to make files transfer? I think about it, that's it. What's the easiest way to do this, right? Drag and drop, right? So if I grab mag 3 right here from this drive and I just reach over, I am going from this drive onto a Colorado drive and I hit copy, it's gonna kick it off. If I go to mag 4 on a M4 Mac Studio, I can grab that file, drag it over, and it's gonna say, I'll copy that. I can go to a MacBook Pro that has mag 5 and I can drag that over. And when I let go, it says, do you wanna copy that? We are now moving 3 different sets of files from 3 different computers to another remote computer. They're all remote, and we can monitor all these as well. So I can see right here, if I look, I get the progress. So I can see that one just finished. I've got the 2nd and 3rd going. If I click on these, I have a full record of what was transferred. And that record goes back in history. So I can go back to transfers that happened weeks or months ago, see the results of any of those transfers. And now you can see I've been transferring those files, and I can tell where they started, where they went, who did the transfer. If other people do transfers, they're able to get a record. So there's a provenance showing who initiated transfers and where they went. That easily, we just transferred files from here and 2 other computers to Colorado, and now you can see in the Colorado computer, they're all there. Those files were not on Colorado before we started. We haven't stopped, you've seen it, and those all transferred right there. So we've managed to play back, we've managed to invite, we have access, and we've been able to transfer files. But what about editing, right? So let me close these extra tools right here, these extra windows, and let's go back to our main window right here. And we've got mag 3. Oh, I want to do this from Colorado, right? Of course. So I'm going to look at that drive in Colorado. We're going to look at our folder right here, and we're going to see these mags right here. So I'm going to start with Final Cut Pro, and I'm just going to grab this magazine of media. We can see the magazine. It's going to start taking that media right now. But I've also got some other computers here. So while that's coming through, I want to show you these other machines that we've got going. So here I've got Premiere Pro, right? Now, look at this. I can actually see Strata inside of Premiere Pro through the media browser. So I can see the Colorado, I can go and browse that because Strata mounts as a virtual file system. So we can click on that, I can see the Strata drive, I can see the Fuji files, and here are the mags, which now I can import. So as those import, I can go over to Resolve and I can do the same process. So here we can see Strata Connect, and there are the different computers that I have access to. I'll see the Colorado Mac Mini, I'll click on the Strata drive, I'll go to the Fujifilm Eterna Media, there's the 4K dailies, and there's the mags we just transferred. Remember, these mags we actually just watched transfer from those different computers, so I'm accessing that media right here. I'm gonna grab all these clips in in Resolve, and we can grab them all, create a new timeline real quick. This is several hours of footage, and if I open that timeline up, I'm playing that back, and now we already imported this in Premiere, I'm opening this timeline up, and we should be able to play this back, and then we can go into Final Cut, and we pull a bunch of these clips in, and we can play that back. Let's go to the beginning of the timeline. There we go. So sometimes people ask, how do we handle it when we're dealing with multiple editors? And the truth is, this is an example where I not only have 3 different editors editing off of a remote computer, that computer is 2,000 miles away from me, and I'm doing it on 3 different editing software applications. So we're watching Strata work here off one Mac Mini in Colorado and give us the proxy files for remote editing available that we transferred from all over the world, including LA, into Colorado, and now we're playing them back in timelines. And of course we can skip around. If you want me to skip through these, I can skip to this take, I can skip to this take, and I can skip to this take. So we can randomly go to different parts. Now it's not a really great take. Let's go to one a little more exciting. There we got one there, we got one there, and we got one, let's look at a good shot right there. So we're able to switch through these shots, play them back, and access them live. So the last thing you might want to ask is, like, how do we pin files? And if I go into Strata, I can also pin files. So if I really wanted to pin, you can see here this all of these files. I could grab these, click the pin option, and now it's gonna start pinning the files. I have a pin library right here, and you can see the progress of these assets already going. And if I wanted to open up, I could see the status of those. So if I double click and make this large, I can look at the status of all these assets. I can see where they are in their pinning process, and we can manage that from here. So we can manage your caching and pinning, which you can do exactly like you can with the cloud, except you're caching it or pinning it from local storage without having the cloud in the middle, right? Do you get it? So there you have it. Strata version 2 is a platform that solves so many collaboration problems. It allows you to play back files off any remote hard drive so that you can cancel cloud subscriptions. Like this will replace some tools like Frame.io and Dropbox. Strata allows you to drag and drop files directly onto other computers. So you can cancel your transfer subscriptions like WeTransfer and products like Massive. Strata allows you to drag and drop proxy files located anywhere right into your editing software, so you can cancel your screen sharing or your cloud editing subscriptions like LucidLink or Suite Studio, Shade, or Jump Desktop. And we're just getting started. There are so many great features coming soon that will make Strata even more valuable. So let's talk pricing. Strata version 2 is available in our retail plans where you can mix and match between free, basic, and unlimited tiers. There is no limit as to how many computers that you can connect, and there's no limit how much storage that you can connect. The free tier allows you to browse and view as many files as you want in your Strata network, and remote editing and drag and drop features are available for $8 per user on our annual basic plan. Remember, we use your storage, so there is no cloud storage. When you need to transfer lots of raw files, an unlimited plan offers a flat rate for as many terabytes as you want. You can buy monthly or annually. Our enterprise plan is built for large teams, so you can reach out directly to us at sales@strata.tech, and we can easily activate an enterprise experience for large groups of collaborators. Best of all, everyone who signs up for Strata automatically gets an unlimited 7-day trial completely free. So hopefully you can see why we're so different. This is not just about looking different or working different, it's about thinking different. Look at the market landscape. The AI vibe coding phenomenon isn't going to bring better tools for creative professionals. It's going to flood the market with an ocean of iterations trying to cash in. And they all look the same to me. The team here at Strata, that's them right there, they're not just looking for problems to solve, which are fairly obvious. We're rethinking the very foundation of how we should work in workflow. If you listen to your cloud subscriptions, you're going to hear them tell you that you should upload everything into their storage and then mount their cloud back onto your computer so it behaves like local storage. But that's completely wrong. It's backwards. What actually would help creative people is to make our local storage behave like a cloud, and that's what we built. In reality, some of these cloud products are really just storage companies masquerading as collaboration platforms. I know, I used to work for one. Most cloud products make money on the storage you rent from them. So while cloud products are supposed to be your creative companion, in reality, the product may be great, but the cloud part is a creative tax. And filmmakers were never meant to spend their lives uploading their media to billion-dollar data centers just so we can view dailies and rushes. We think that's wrong. And we're looking for creative professionals that are willing to try a completely new approach. But to get off the cloud means you gotta have guts. And we haven't figured everything out yet. What we're building is just so new and it's extremely difficult. So we love working with creative professionals who are willing to grow with us and help us grow. And since the very beginning of our business, we've relied on our customers to inform our priorities, our design, and our roadmap. We've built the business in the public space, and we have the YouTube episodes to prove it. So I want to take a moment to thank all of our early adopters, you know who you are, who have constantly provided valuable feedback that's enabled us to make Strata the center in your workflow. Since we started in 2023, more than 10,000 people have signed up for Strata, and every day we're helping creative teams unlock a better way to work remotely. So when is it available? Well, I'm happy to report Strata version 2 is available for Apple Silicon and Windows later this June. For those of you in Los Angeles, we will be at Cinegear Expo this coming weekend, and we can show it to you live. Cinegear is one of my favorite cinema experiences, and it's one of these great events. It's taking place at Universal Studios, and if you're in LA, we're gonna see you there. If you're not coming to Cinegear, head over to strata.tech and check out all the information on how you can access Strata version 2. That includes private demos or free onboarding sessions for your entire team. Lastly, join our Discord server where you can chat with us and other Strata users about workflow, technology, you can get early access to beta features, and you can share your feature requests. This has been a tremendous journey for us, and we cannot wait for you to stop uploading to cloud storage and start making the most of your current storage journey. Join us and help us disrupt the world of cloud subscriptions together.